I am talking with Jean Wright, author of Selling Your Confidence. You can find information about that at sellingyourconfidence.com. Welcome to Good Morning, Frederick. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks so much for having me today, Danny. I really appreciate it.
Oh, well, I am excited to talk to you. We haven't really had a chance to sit down since you wrote and launched your book last year in March, Selling Your Confidence. So I guess let's go back a little bit. What were the ideas in writing this book for you? What kind of pushed you to get this done?
Well, I've been in Frederick for a while and I've worked in various sales positions throughout my career even before I came here. And I really got to know a lot more women in Frederick by networking and working at various jobs here. And I thought there's something out there that there's a need for women to feel more comfortable in their sales positions. I really enjoy the sales career that I've had, and I thought there might be a good story here about what I've been through that might be helpful to other women. So when I decided to write my book, I wanted to put in a lot of great experiences that were still pretty vivid in my thoughts about what I went through, and I really was surprised at how well I could document a lot of these sales experiences and then provide tips for how to get through certain situations that might be helpful to women.
Yeah, that's great. I remember my first sales job. I think it was like 1987. I was terrible at sales. I didn't really get a lot of training, and it wasn't until probably I would say almost 2000 probably that I learned what sales was all about and how to be successful. So it's really great that you're offering, in your book, tips and things for people who are perhaps sitting in the sales or thinking about a sales role, because I think we use sales every single day of our lives. I just don't think we call it sales. And I think once people understand it, they'll use it more and more frequently. What do you think?
I agree with that, especially for women. We sort of have a natural tendency to be nurturing and helpful, and we like to help people get something that would be great for them to enhance their lives, whatever it may be. In our daily life, we probably are talking more about things and products that we like that we know other people would like. So there is some naturalness to that. And it is known that in companies today, more employers are looking for women to sell. But it's that cultural image of the salesman that sometimes cloud our real judgment about what selling should be and how confident we should be about it, because we are able to do this more naturally and authentically than we think we can. So my whole thing is be authentic about yourself and don't let the feelings of changing your way of being to aggressive or manipulative. Don't feel like you have to be that way to sell something, because that's really not you. And people will see through that if you are trying to be somebody that you're really not. So let's take that authentic self and bring it out.
I get we all kind of have that used car salesman idea in our head when you hear sales, but I think once you break it down, you understand it is can be a very nurturing, and you're guiding people toward a great decision. I had many clients in my years that I've said, this is not the product for you. And that also wins a lot of points to, help those clients in the future. So that's really
Right.
cool.
Right. You want to find your ideal client, and you also want to spend the time with them that's going to be beneficial for both of you. So
Right.
it's good to recognize that.
Absolutely. Anytime something is a win win, there's really no selling that has to be done, right?
That's right.
So you released this book originally in March of 2023. You told me you just refreshed it with a new cover and some additional content. and that people, yeah, oh yeah, and I can make sure we have that on screen too. People can purchase on Amazon or get it directly from you. So tell me, like, are you're out and about? I know you're doing a lot of networking and speaking to groups. What has been kind of the moment where you were like, "This is really cool what I'm doing, and I know I'm affecting a lot of people positively."
Well, sometimes we give out free advice. I don't know about you. You ever meet with somebody for coffee and you have conversations and they maybe ask you some things that they feel you might be an expert at or know that you can help them. And I just started realizing I think there's a lot of experience and things that I've learned that can help people. So why not just start customizing some coaching plans so that I can help them in the various ways that they feel they need a little assistance. So I decided now that you have the book and you have something to talk about and people are reading it and understand that there are techniques and some tips that can be helpful, why not take it a step further and coach people in a way that will help them be more successful in their particular business with things that they think they need some work with. Because let's face it, sometimes you go out, you've been out there where you're on the streets and they're telling you, go out and get that business. I know you can do it. You have the reputation for what you can do. And it can be lonely out there. The self motivation has to come into play at some point where
Yeah.
you have to move forward and not let the personal something affect you personally that the door may have closed, but you need to move on to the next person who needs your services. So
Oh yeah. Oh
there's a
yeah.
there's
That's
a
for
lot
sure.
of motivation that's necessary. It's a team sport, but not really. It's really an individual sport. You have to
Yeah.
be be self motivated in a way that you can produce, but also no other people feel the same way you do.
Yes, yes. Can't take things personal. You are out there speaking, you're out there allowing people the opportunity to learn stuff through the book. You've been around Frederick for quite a while. What have you noticed, kind of about, even career wise, about some of the changes?
Well, I love Frederick because it's a relationship building town. People here really enjoy meeting each other, connecting with other people to help other people be successful. I mean, I don't know about you, but when you go to a networking event, it's great to meet new people, but it's also great to connect people to other people you may be meeting. And that means a lot to the other person that you're connecting to or for. And I find that Frederick is special in the way that people like to reach out to each other. They like to help each other be successful in business and nonprofits. Everybody gets together and feels that sense of community and building community with each other. I think that's a very special part of Frederick. You don't hear that in other places as much as you do here.
I agree. That's why I love this town. I really do. And, I think it's great. How can Frederick help you? Who can we refer to you, or how can we help spread the word about your book, Selling Your Confidence?
I've really felt that it's been wonderful so far this past year to be known whenever I'm talking to people that they know about my book, but there probably are more that would like to be able to see what this is all about. I appreciate being asked to be on a podcast like this. I'm meeting some other women who are doing the same thing, and I think this is becoming a very popular way to get to know somebody is in a podcast or other social media platforms. I do enjoy talking to groups, and I would just say when you're feeling that maybe you need a little bit of a help with something to improve what you're doing for your business in a sales type of way, to keep me in mind. And I do offer a free chat for anybody who wants to just not be judged about how they feel, because believe me, a lot of you feel similar things that you don't want to admit, but I'm happy to talk to you about what's holding you back with being more successful with selling. And I feel like with a reputation I've had in the business community here, that I do feel there is a bit of trust here that would be helpful to people who don't know me, that may want to get to know what I have to say and how I can help them maybe be more successful.
Yes, absolutely.
A
Well,
lot of
check out.
women in town, especially
Yeah.
that own businesses. I know that.
Yes, yes, there are. All right. Well, you can check out sellingyourconfidence.com to reach out to Jean and ask her some questions. You can bend her ear a bit, and she may be able to offer some help to you so you can be more successful in the future. Contact Jean at sellingyourconfidence.com. Thank you so much for joining the show.
Thank you for having me.